Alec Baldwin's involuntary manslaughter trial well underway. Prosecutors charging him after that fatal shooting on the set of the movie Rust back in 2021. Already today, lots of developments taking place inside the courtroom. The judge there, Mary Marlowe Sumner, dismissing the jury until Monday. She has been asked by the defense to dismiss the case over a dispute related to ammunition evidence. Trial attorney Jeremy Rosenthal joins us now live, and Hannah Gutierrez-Reed was supposed to testify today. I want to get to that in a moment, but this controversy over the ammunition, what do you make of it?
It's bad news. Today, when you're prosecuting people, it is disclosure, disclosure, disclosure. That is the name of the game when you're prosecuting folks. It sounds like what happened was that somebody turned a box of ammunition over to the prosecution after the Hannah Gutierrez-Reed trial. It sounds like it was a friend of Gutierrez-Reed's father, I think, turned it over to the crime technician on the case. They didn't disclose that to that wasn't disclosed, and it sounds like the ammunition may very well match some of the live rounds that were on the set. This was revealed, it sounds like, on cross-examination through that witness, Ms. Popple. So we don't know exactly what's going on. I think that the court's going to have to run down that trail about this evidence, see how material it is in this case. But if there's an issue about really late disclosure here, it's simply not good for the prosecution.
Mr. Rosenthal, does this point into the popular category, something stinks in Denver, if you're a member of the jury that is going to learn about all of this, because the judge has indicated she wants all of this to come out and she wants the jury to hear about it? They're going to ask, if you had these live rounds, and they appear to be live rounds, why didn't you disclose them?
It's additive, and I think what we're seeing here, and to be polite to Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, to be polite to her attorneys, there are some competent special prosecutors in this case for the state of New Mexico. They're facing some next level talent when it comes to Alec Baldwin's team. On Monday, they won a very critical what's called a motion in limine, which is a pretrial ruling about the admissibility of evidence. They weren't allowed to talk about Alec Baldwin being a producer in the case, and that was a major, major blow to their case. This, on top of it, if the jury learns about a prosecutorial mismanagement of evidence, I think could be really, really difficult, potentially, to overcome. If you think about it, the prosecution is trying to portray confidence. They're trying to portray that they've got their case really in order, that they know every little fact in detail, and that they're convinced that Alec Baldwin's guilty. A lot of times when prosecutors don't turn over evidence, it's not because they're hiding evidence on purpose. It's because they don't know what they're doing, or they're just really disorganized. At the end of the day, though, the jury has to believe enough evidence to think that Alec Baldwin committed a crime. When you don't have faith in the people who are just telling you the story from the state of New Mexico, when you just don't have faith that you can believe those people, it's really hard to render a guilty verdict.
And Mr. Rosenthal, when this argument began, the first thing I thought about was a different courtroom, in this case, Georgia, and Fani Willis. Donald Trump's attorneys did not go after Fani Willis on the evidence. They went after Fani Willis as to whether or not she had a relationship with one of the prosecutors in the case. Is this the same thing where the defense is looking for any opening, and they plan on putting their foot in the door and saying, see, we told you, because their opening argument said that they destroyed the gun, they destroyed the bullet. This points to that broader conspiracy, if you will, that the juror will have to look at and say, how do we make up our mind when there are so many missing pieces of the puzzle?
When you make an argument like this, you got to be really, really careful. You have to be able to, as a trial lawyer, you have to be able to read the jury, because when you start saying things like lying, hiding, manipulating, when you say things like that, I don't know that the jury's necessarily there with you. But what you have to also make sure that you convey is that incompetence is just as bad, because the question here is, do we have enough evidence, I mean, to put it politely, to put Alec Baldwin in a cage? because if he is found guilty, he's looking at 18 months in prison. That's not a lot by some of the standards that we talk about sometimes, right? When we talk about really long sentences, but 18 months of prison in New Mexico, I'm pretty sure that sucks really hard. You got to convince the jury that Alec Baldwin is guilty and that he deserves that. Whether you're incompetent or whether you're crooked, at the end of the day, I think Baldwin's lawyers are trying to show the jury, you just can't believe it. You just can't believe it enough to do this to Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, those were live images coming out of the courtroom as you were talking. Alec Baldwin, of course, hugging and talking to his wife, Hilaria. Behind him, inside the courtroom, Stephen Baldwin, the actor, his brother, trial attorney Jeremy Rosenthal. Mr. Rosenthal, thanks for being with us.
Thank you. Have a good day.